Alright, so last video for today. Let's see if we can get this shape going on. Right, because it's basically flat and then it curves down into like a bottom of a bowl and then there's a hole, which rhymes. So it's flat and then it curves down. So luckily this is all fairly low res. So I should just be able to take this and move it down. Now let me just make sure I'm doing this to the right thing here. Alright, so it just comes down. Now, not as far as that, but this is the inner bit, so maybe it would be fairly much. Now this inner piece, I did it again, inner piece, is like this piece right in through here is going to be the flattest. So, this might not be quite as flat here. So what I can do, again, is just average vertices. I'm just going to gently lift this up. So maybe something like that there. So now I can't just average vertice these guys, unfortunately, because if I do, it's going to separate from origin. So I'm just going to lift those up manually. I think that should be good though. Something like this. And just move this piece down like that. There we go. And just want to make sure that now, because I'm going to be extruding out, I can see this is going to be a little bit wide here. So what I might need to do is move this one back just slightly. And we'll average the vertices. This looks actually pretty accurate here though. And this is just a bit wide here. So these guys, I'm going to go in and average vertices. This one will need to be snapped back. So X, just allow me to very quickly snap it back to origin. And this one I'm going to just scale down so it's just even across there. Same with this one, just scale it down so it's even. Cool. And that's getting there. That's getting there. This should be a little bit higher. This is where your low res comes in handy, right? Because this should be just a little bit higher here. I think that's even. And same with this one. It's like a soup bowl, so it has to curve. Right, so we get this kind of shape going. It's kind of working. All right, so I'm going to save. So next thing I want to do is the extruding bits. The extruding bits. So what does that mean? Well, there's parts that need to be extruded. I'm going to raise this up here too, just so it cups a little bit more. All right. So for the extruding bits, right? So it extrudes. You can see here, right? This is what we've done. We did this flat piece. Now this is actually a lot thinner than what I have, so I might want to thin that up just a little bit more. But then we're extruding it all down, so it all extrudes down. And then we extrude it out. But it does step here. There's a little bit of a weird step, so we've got to figure out that. So I think we'll have to extrude it twice, maybe 3 times so that we can lift this one piece up just a little bit. And yeah, we'll just figure that one out as we go. So I think these arms are almost good. It's a little bit warbly, I can see here, right? So let's just take this guy and just move it in. I'm not just grabbing it and moving it, because then it's going to be wobbly from the side. So again, I'm just moving it in this way, just very meticulously, right? You have to be meticulous when you get into modeling in anything, really, right? You can't just wing it. Well, you can a little bit, because that's what I'm doing, but you do have to be somewhat careful with what you're doing. Let me just rotate this so it's a bit more even on either side. And something happened there. If this ever happens, don't worry about it. Just select those edges in this case and Control Delete. There we go. I'm going to save. So that's looking pretty good, right? That's looking pretty good. So we got it. There's a lot of average verticing. Alright, so let's grab this edge all the way to here. I'm going to do this in sections. So I'm shift clicking. So I'm selecting this, shift clicking up here, shift clicking over here, shift clicking over here, right? I don't want this center edge. And then I'm going to extrude. So let me save. And I'm going to extrude. So it extrudes up, right? So we're extruding up. That was the first thing. How extruded up is it? Well, it's extruded up and out slightly, right? So up and out slightly. There we go, this guy right here. Okay, so that's the first one. And, maybe that's a bit much. Then we're going to do it again, so extrude. And this time I'm going to not move it very much because it's a sharper edge here. So you can see that, it's a fairly sharp edge along this line, and then it extrudes out. So extrude one more time. And let's see, so don't usually use the green handle, but in this case we are. Now this one's not really extruding out here the way I want it to, so I have to manually do this one here. That's okay. We're gonna have to do some manual stuff anyway. Alright, so it's getting there, right? It's getting there. So we just gotta do that weird thing, the weird step stuff here. So, and it's everywhere. It's on all of the sides, which is irritating. So this is gonna be a bit shallower, kind of like how we were planning it originally. So I gotta bring this stuff in. Right, so I'm going to go in and I'm going to grab this, and then once I got that, I can then use my average vertices here. I don't want to grab faces. I don't want this edge to move. I just want this edge to move. So average vertice. Alright, let me just move this out a bit more. It's going to be a kind of a series of averaging vertices and stuff like that. Not that much though. Well, I could do it. I could do it that much. It's a pretty good curve there, because then what I can do is I can just scale it in maybe just a bit. Alright, so that looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. And what about this guy? Alright, it's about the same thickness, so I just have to make sure it's about the same thickness. About the same thickness. And how flat is it? Not really, it's pretty curved, right? So this is the top part. So that's actually pretty curved. I'm probably going too far out. So it needs to be a little bit more curved curve. So let me just bring these guys in just a bit. I think this is about right. Now this one I didn't move at all. So I'm gonna have to move this one out just a bit. I think that's about right. Alright, so the weird step stuff. How the heck are we going to do that? Well, we're going to have to add in some extra edges, at least 2 extra edges. So it's not going to be so bad, actually. Here, I'm going to save. It's not going to be so bad. So we're going to add in 2 extra edges using the multi-cut right in the middle. So 1, 2, just like that. So now what I can do is I can grab these faces these faces right here. So I'm pretty sure those are the ones that are, yeah, they've moved down just a bit. And exactly that. I'm going to flatten them just a bit and then move them down a bit. There we go. All right, so now we've got that step. That looks exactly right. Good job, me. That works. All right, so let's do this side here. So again, I can just move this down, I think, right? Just so that I'm getting a nice step, right? That works. And then same with this one here. Just this one guy right here. Just this guy. So get a nice curve here and a step there. Yeah, it's perfect-ish, perfect-ish, right? All right, so let's say that's good. I'm going to go with it. I think that looks actually pretty darn good. You know, could be tweaked, but not bad for a little bit of time. I'm going to save. And I think we can finish this off in this recording. It's going to be another 4 minutes, I think. So we just have to mirror this across X, right? The X axis. So that's mirror. We did Z last. Let's go into X. Cool. And we just need to cut a hole in the bottom. So we're going to grab this guy. And I'm gonna actually, it's rather flat, but not perfectly flat. It's not perfectly flat, but that's okay. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to extrude it in and then circularize it. Right. So we got a perfect circle. So now what I can do with that perfect circle is I can take it and I can extrude it in again. And I'm just going to figure out what it looks like. So it actually comes down. So this is where that welding is. So I'm going to get that shape. Oh yeah, we got to do this. I'll do that on another day. So we got to get this shape, which is this curve, and then it goes, okay. And this is where we need to go back to the illustration. Like, how thick does that need to be? All right, and where does that need to be positioned? Because actually it should be back here just a little bit more. Like, it needs to be back around here. So about like this thick. About like that. So let me just bring this back up. All right. There we are. And I'm going to just make sure it's flat. So to make sure it's flat, what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to grab... No, I can't really do that. Well, I can. All right, I'm just going to do this. And flatten it. So just make sure... Oh, yeah, don't do that. Make sure you got everything you need. Okay, now that's flat. I'm going to save. Okay, and I'm going to extrude it up. Extrude it up again. I didn't move that one. I'm moving this one. Extrude it in. It's going to be for the welding. And extrude it up. And I just got to figure out where does that stop. Stop, well, about right here actually. Now before I extrude it in again, I can see that, you know, this actually needs to be a bit wider. I can expand my selection by a shift period, so that's the greater than. And I'm just going to make this wider. That's about right. I was always watching my arcs and things. And this edge needs to extrude in. So one, if I want a bit of a bevel, I'll just move it just slightly, and I'll extrude it in one more time. And again, same thing, right? Just move it a little bit, so there's a bit of a bevel, then extrude it in again. And I want this to be more defined. So I'm going to throw in an edge here as well. All right, there we go. This needs some thickness, but we accidentally did this guy already, so whoopsie. All right, but that's okay. That's okay, because all I need to do then, because we don't, well, we do see it, right? So, all right, so I'm going to have to remove this. So to remove a section, just select a face, delete, and then you can delete. If it's not connected, it can just be double-clicked and deleted. All right, so I'm going to select this, and I'm going to extrude the entire thing. I'm going to save first, and I'm going to extrude it inwards. So I'm going to have to reverse the surface direction. All right, and then we just need to make sure that this has a nice consistent thickness. Whoa, yeah, don't do that. Yeah, once we've reversed the surface direction, we have to actually manually go in and just add in a couple loops here. And the low res is better. There we go. Right, so that looks pretty good. This not so much. Yeah, that's not so much good. So we'll have to do something here. I don't even know what that is. Yes. Let's see. I might, just delete that. Maybe. I don't know. Let's see. I'll scale it in just a little bit. I do want a nicer edge here, though. So what I might have to do is just bring this down a bit. There we go. It's not too bad. All right, we got some kind of neat shape, which is a little too square right here. So again, this is where we might want to go in with the average vertices. Now, I should have probably have done this before extruding. Now, because I did it after, I'm gonna have to manually tweak this just so it looks a little bit better. That looks better. Probably need to do that over here as well. But, it's actually looking pretty good. Except for here, there's a shadow. It's a weird shadow. What's this? Oh, yeah, so gotta watch out for those guys. There's a little stray verts. I'm actually gonna go over the entire thing and hit delete with the vertices. That way, if there's anything else there's a weird shadow right here. Probably from this guy. So I'm gonna lift this up a bit. It's a little bit better. All right, so that's actually looking pretty good. I could always go in and smooth it a little bit here or there. But I think that's not looking too bad. If I need to do major work, I'll have to remove the extrude and just rework that. Okay, well, I'm going to end this video here. Well, let me just actually mirror these guys first. So do that guy, and then, nope, not that. I have to go in Z. Let's see here. I already have that one, so let me just go back into X. There we go. So I got those guys in there. All right, so we're going to take a break. The next thing I need to do is obviously the seat, and that's probably one of the last things to do. I think it's going to be challenging, but probably easier than the piece we just finished. Okay, well, I'm going to end it here for today, and I'll post these as soon as I can. All right, let me see. Oh, where did the stop button go? All right, cheers, guys. Bye.